but I lost almost 40 pounds, 35, 40 pounds
In that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Came back and put it back on before that deployment in like a month. Yeah. But we were also during that time, um, yeah, we were on some stuff too to help out with that. Like it was intriguing for a little bit.
It was.
That's all I had was the Army. I told my wife about this, and like if I didn't join the Army, have the military, like I would have been in prison, yeah, for doing stupid stuff. Yeah, probably would have killed somebody, more than likely, where I grew up at.
Why do
Yeah.
you say that? You would have killed somebody.
I was a hothead, man. Like it was I was a hothead, yeah. And just the guys that I hung around, um, they've killed people. So it was just probably a matter of time
Damn.
before I was going to get the same opportunity, if you want to call it that. But my sister's friends, same situation. Like when I just left the army or to go to the army, we had this park behind my neighborhood, and there was this guy I used to hang out with, went to school with, and he was friends with my sister. But one day he just decided he said, "Hey, I want to catch a body." It was like a thing back then. So he went to the park, waited out in the park, and just waited for the next jogger to come by and shot him up. So it was like that. Yeah.
And that's someone you grow up with, you think you
Yeah.
know, and then
Oh, I always knew he was like that. Like everybody was like that back then. We're like not scared to do stuff like that, just to build up street cred.
yeah, but I'm like that's not like, oh, I killed like a rival dealer or something. That's
Yeah, this is just
you're
somebody.
just
Yeah.
blowing someone away.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's weird. Happened a few times in that little park. So that was my option. Stay there, get in trouble, or join the military and see what happens.
So you go hard the other way, you join the
Yeah.
military, you go into training. And like we said, I think it was like 6 months, the
Yeah.
initial
Yeah.
training. So you're still 18, you make it through. Wasn't it like something like 12 guys made it or something like that out of 80? Did I make that up?
No, yeah, almost close. Six from the original class. We had 7 total make it out of like 85 guys in the Ranger selection. So it's like a 14-week basic training boot camp in Georgia. Then you do a 3-week, I believe, airborne school. I think it's 3 weeks.
You hated that shit.
Oh, yeah. Scared of heights, man. Like, my dad was taking me up on ladders before it was time to join the Army, like 10-foot ladders just to try to get over this fear of heights thing.
So you wanted to be a sniper
Yeah.
that shoots from heights sometimes.
Yeah. A sniper that's is scared of bugs, too. I don't like bugs.
I don't fuck with bugs either.
Yeah, so
but I'm not a sniper.
Yeah, different. You got to be smart and dumb, man, at the same time. 3 weeks of airborne, then it was basic airborne. Then I went to the selection, and at that time was about a month, a little over a month.
What was the hardest part of that?
All of it, man.
All of it.
It was Monday through Monday. Every day was the same, just a beat down of how much can your body take. It was just one big beat down. Every day was we would lose so many, a few guys every day, a few guys. The most I've ever seen drop out was like 20, 30 guys at one time. And that was just, we were cold. It was outside. We hadn't slept in like 3 days. So it was a big demoralizer. But I would feed off of guys that were quitting because it's like, dude, I'm still here.
Right.
You got to feed off of it. So I would always look for the next person to quit. And yeah, because I was always on the verge of quitting. Every day, man. Waking up, you're back. I was feeling like I was 80 years old, going through it. And I'm like, I don't know how guys continue to do this, man. And you run a lot, 6, 8, 12 miles a day. You're doing, push-ups till your arms fall off. It's just a big smoke fest, man. Big smoke fest for like a month.
Did you still come in there like, when you're 18, you're not filled out yet. So are you coming in there like pretty lanky and then suddenly like...
Dude, I was 98 pounds, bro, when I graduated high school. Yeah, dude. 98. And after basic. It was the first time I ever had 3 meals in a day. So basic training, I
Wow.
bumped up to 135. Then
You weren't working with much.
no,
Easy
no.
to get up there.
yeah. 2 glasses of water, man.
I can't believe
I'm
it.
good.
I bet the Army, like, you walk through the door after they recruited you, they're like, I can't. We got to see this shit.
Yeah, yeah, bro. 135 in basic after I graduated. Went to Ranger selection. I went to after Ranger selection or after airborne and then Ranger selection, I bumped up to 155. And I stayed and I still hover around like 155 to 170 depending.
What are you, like 5'10"?
I wish, bro.
Right.
I used to be before I had a bad accident, jumping out of a plane, collapsed no, bro.
Listen, you should have gone with that. I was buying it.
No, man. 5'7", bro. 5'7".
All right, so 5'7", 155 though.
It's pushing some weight.
Yeah, you're a unit.
Yeah, it's up there a little bit. But
I've seen some bouncers at that size. You don't want to fuck with those guys.
Feisty.
Yeah.
98 pounds graduating, and the lowest I've ever been in the Army was after Ranger School. And I think you may be thinking about Ranger School. That is a 62-day long course, but I spent 80 plus days in there because I failed the first portion of it. I had to recycle it. I failed. It's called Derby phase. So it's like the very first phase in Ranger School. You have Derby phase, then you have a mountain phase, and you have a Florida swamp phase. And I failed the first portion and then had to do it again and went all the way through after that. But I lost almost 40 pounds, 35, 40 pounds in
that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Came back and put it back on before that deployment in like a month. Yeah. But we were also during that time, we were on some stuff too to help out with that.
You were on some stuff.
Everybody was.
Like Toradol?
Like you name it. Yeah. Testosterone.
The good shit.
Yeah, the good stuff. Yeah.
The stuff that they don't let the baseball players use.
Yeah.
But it'd be very interesting if we did let them use.
Yeah.
Right.
Before, D-ball and all that stuff was banned or considered anabolic steroids. Yeah.
Right. Tested on the military.
Yeah. It wasn't safe for 21-year-old kids to be, boosting up their testosterone to like 1,000,000%.
But, you're talking about like at 17 wondering if you're going to be a guy blowing people's heads off and now they're just boosting your testosterone. They're like, yeah, we need our killers here in the Army.
Yeah. Literally, man. Oh, yeah. On some stuff and like we lifted a lot. We had our own personal gym in Ranger Battalion. We had our own chefs. We had our own chow hall places to eat.
That's good.
And we ate really good, really good.
I forgot about this, though. I just had Rocco Vargas in here. I forget this with Rangers. You guys, you go through like the initial training school to become a Ranger, and then you do like a deployment, and then you do Ranger school.
Yeah.
And that's what you're talking about now. So it was after your first deployment, you're doing the...
This was after my second deployment. Yeah.
2000. Oh, so you went on 2.
Yeah. I was trying to hold off as long as I possibly could to not go to Ranger school. But the thing is, if you don't go within like 2 years, then kick you out, man. Yeah. And I was about to get married at that time. I just rekindled this relationship I had with the elementary school girlfriend. And
how did this you were telling me before she lived out of town at this point too? Like how did you reconnect with someone that was your friend when you were like 6?
MySpace.
Oh my God,
yeah.
MySpace.
She hit me up on MySpace.
There's a throwback.
Yeah, throwback, man. She got in contact with me on MySpace, and the internet sucked that day when I checked my messages, and there's this girl named Jessica on there, but her profile picture or her picture did not load up. It was just a generic little female silhouette, and I thought it was a different Jessica that I didn't like. I was like, I don't want to talk to this girl. So I canked it and went back to my room. Then something told me, was like, dude, go back and check on it. So the next day, or a few days after that, I went back and loaded up the message, and a picture popped up. And I just saw this Mexican hot ass girl, and I was like, oh, she changed up, you know. She didn't look. She didn't look like that back
She
then.
didn't look like that when she was 6.
Yeah.
Imagine. Did she put you in the top 8 at least? Like, was that a thing?
That became a thing after we started to date. And so, you know, like the MySpace thing, the top 8. Like,
I remember this. I was like 11.
Really? Oh man, I'm old.
Sorry.
I'm crying now. But I didn't make it to the top 8 yet. She was still dating a guy, or like about to end the relationship with this guy. And well, after I saw her, I hit her back up, and I, you know, like, hey, I remember you, and whatever. I looked at the guy next to me. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna marry this girl. He didn't believe me, and I just believed myself. So that's all that counted. I went back to the compound we stayed at, got a satellite phone, called her up from this weird 0001 number or whatever. Talked for like half an hour. She's like, where are you at? I tell her, I can't tell you, but I'm in the Army. I'll be back whenever. When I do come back, I would like to come see you. And that's pretty much what happened.
Wow.
And the first week after that deployment, I found a ticket to San Antonio and flew out to see her. And that was all she wrote, man. Well, not really, because it went on, for like, we dated for like 9 months on and off. She did not, I don't know what it was, but a lot of her parents had something to do with it. They were not into the whole like interracial, you know, relationship thing. They didn't believe in that, but I was like, I'm not a bad guy, you know.
Some tough Mexicans.
Yeah.
Shit.
And it was bad, bro.
Let's see. You're Cuban. I don't want to hear it.
It was bad, but luckily she came through. And after I proposed to her, before I left, where was I going? Dude, I believe it was Mosul, Iraq. I proposed to her before that deployment, and she said yes, then she said no. So I'm overseas on that deployment, like, you know, thinking about that, not the job, and made me more angry.
She said yes, but then she said no.
Yeah, she said yes
it's
after
the most women thing I've ever heard.
It is,
in my
bro.
life.
It is. Right after, like, that next day, as I'm getting on the plane, she's like, I changed my mind. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So, yeah, it worked out. It worked out good, though. I kept trying. I knew it was going to happen. She was just scared, I guess, and had a lot of influence. But then she found out who I was, and she was like, oh, he's a badass, and hell yeah, I like that. So before she had no idea.
That's impressive. Like, it's impressive you could compartmentalize something that serious, though.
Yeah.
And I'm impressed with this with a lot of the military guys for different reasons, like balancing relationships, being overseas, and on and off in such a different world. But like, to be getting on the plane and like you just proposed yesterday, you're in ecstasy. Now she's like, no, fuck that.
Yeah.
Or however you say that in Spanish.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you got to get on a plane and be all business.
You get drunk before you go. Yeah. That's what I did, at least. That's what I did. And then by the time you're overseas, like, you only have so much time to think about it. And it's more so in your downtime. Like, on the mission, I didn't think about home at all. I didn't think about mom, dad, her, no one. It was just a mission. It was just when you got back and things settled down and, you know, you start trying to, you know, you get back up on MySpace and you see all the fun that everyone's doing. That sucks, yeah.
Yeah, the word, I think right before we were getting on camera, we were touching on like some of your sensory understanding. But the word that really came to mind when I was reading your battlefield stories, which were amazingly written, by the way.
Thank you.
Was like presence. You had massive presence in the moment.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we'll get into your approach with shooting later, I'm sure, but like,
I wish I could do that more so now, man. Yeah,
you can't re-simulate something like that.
Yeah,
though,
you're right.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, can you be like that at Walmart versus like in the middle of a field where like 40 guys are like depending on you to still live?
Yeah. Yeah, living in the present time is...
Thank you for watching the video, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, please smash that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here